Good morning, Sean here, Mountains Garage. It's a quiet Sunday morning, and I'm out here in my shop trying to move stuff around, kind of make sense of it all. My mom always said there's always room for one more, and she's right. So this week it was the bandsaw, and I've decided to leave it on the roll-around cart. I actually cut some 2x6s just a few minutes ago and use the arms of the lift to pick it up, put them underneath, and it's going to live on the rolling stand that was going to be my engine test stand. But I'll just make I was never in love with that idea anyway, and that stand's been kicking around for 3 or 4 years now, looking for a purpose, and I guess I found it. When we do a close-up, I'll show you, it only hangs out on the edge a little bit from the bandsaw, and I think it'll be okay. So before I roll it into its new home, and the beauty of being on wheels, I can always move it, which is important around here because things are always moving. The light over it, if you've been watching my videos for a year, the light's been out over a year. Now, I built the shop in 2006 and 7. I bought, I'm going to have to call them cheap fixtures. They're about $30 a piece. They're 8-foot T12s. The fixture will probably last a lifetime. The bulbs are fine. But the ballast, they're junk. That's what goes bad. So I'll get the ladder out while I get things out of the way and change out the ballast. Now, that one there is LED. And if you can see the difference it makes in here, I'm going to run going that way, one over both lifts, LED 8-foot, kind of forward of the posts. And I got them wired, bank 1, 2, and 3. So when I turn on 1, it actually makes an L in the shop, and I can work with just those lights on. 2 gives me these over here, which really help up in the fab area here, and 3 down by the lift, I seldom if ever turn on. They're actually 4-foot T12s. They came, believe it or not, came from the same college that the lathe and the bandsaw did. I just put that together as I'm speaking. Years apart, different people, but now that I think about it, they came from the same place. So they're old, but they all have brand new bulbs, and they work, and they were free. So you know how that goes. They're not the most efficient. The new LED stuff, as far as shop lighting goes, I don't know about longevity, but man, they put out some light. So that's awesome. So I'm going to get the ladder out and do that, and I'll catch up with you in a few. So my ceilings are about 13 feet, so I have a couple really tall ladders. I'd love to tell you that I planned that, but it's just luck. It's amazing how dirty the bulbs get, and despite being that high up in the ceiling. That's the old ballast right there. It's much smaller than the new one. I have changed almost all the ballasts in the lights, one by one. I need to buy more. It's the last one. I've had it on the shelf long enough that the rubber bands holding the new wires together deteriorated. So I don't have to change them that often, but I haven't had to change any bulbs or a change of ballast for the second time since the winter of 2006 and 7. That's pretty good. Actually, I guess it was spring of 2007 when I finally did the lighting. So I guess I can't complain. I'll just stock some more ballasts and change them as they go. Someday I'd like all LED, but that's expensive too. So I might as well just keep changing them. Back to work. It's a simple 5-wire hookup. You got power and ground, which is white and black. And you got a red and 2 blues, and they match up. Same as the one you take out. It's kind of universal. I just cut them in a good spot and wire nut them. I don't get into the wiring and actually, daisy chains all the lights together. I just go near the ballast and cut them off, so next time I could just do the same thing, if there ever is a next time. And just like that, a little bit of glass cleaner on the bulbs, and she's back working again. What a difference down below. Unbelievable. So now over here at the saw, I finally changed the oil in the air compressor and added about 1.5 quarts to the gearbox. It holds about 3. It's nice and clean. The air compressor was not clean. I really want to clean up in here, but for today I'm going to shine up the cover and bolt it on and shove it in the corner. Let's do it. All right, shoved into its new, maybe temporary home, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it on the wheels. They stick out a little bit, but all in all, it's nice to be able to roll around. It's like pushing an elephant. It's about 1,100 pounds according to the paperwork. So since you last saw it, like I said, I did the maintenance work. I bought, it's an actual Jet upper blade guide. It's all adjustable on the back. It's actually a lower. I bought a lower and an upper, not knowing what they would even look like when I got them in the mail. But this I was able to mount up top. It's a lower. I use parts of both. And it's nice that it's multiple adjustable. If I end up running a bigger blade, I can move the actual bearings in and out. That's cool. Then I made a guide. Excuse me, a guard. Guides and guards. That allows you to not put your hand into the running blade, which is nice. And then I said originally was going to leave the upper guide, blade guide, the way it was, but the Jet one was too wide, so I mounted the old upper underneath, because if you look at the parts manual, the guides are the same upper and lower, they just have a different bracket. Next time I have that off, I'm going to slot that hole so I can technically move it up and down, but I think it's in a good spot without even doing that. It's just something I didn't think of till afterwards. And I made a new table insert, so it's actually round and fits like it should, and it's removable with a couple nuts. That was a piece of stainless I had. And the table shined up really nice. I'm still looking for either a miter gauge or a miter fence, 3/4 wide, 3/8 thick, 3/8 thick. I'm having trouble talking today apparently. And that'll finish it off. I had a pusher laying around, so between that and the guard, prevent me from cutting myself hopefully. I used the saw to actually make the guard, which is pretty cool. And I'm done. I'm writing this thing off, ready to use. I kind of like the natural light I get through the window. Originally I was going to shove it over there in the corner and put the press over here, and that just didn't make any sense. I mean, I'm pretty well crapped up, as they say, but slowly but surely, I got to get rid of all this. I like when people do like this stuff that's just hanging around. So I'm working on that. Now let's go over a couple shop projects. The Nova that I dragged home last week, finally back from paint. I cannot believe how many times in 1 week I've shimmied past this trying not to scratch it. Especially with my train drive wallet. Just gotta be careful. I do have a car cover I could put over it, but I really need to work on it, so I hate to keep pulling that back off. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I don't have all the gaskets for the windows and doors, trunk. I have some of that stuff. Not all of it. I gotta pick through my Nova stuff. But what I do have is many powertrains, and pushing this thing around doesn't really make any sense. So I think I should concentrate over the winter on pick an engine transmission and just put it in there. You can always change it later. So it's probably going to be the 377 small block, dual quad. I have a Richmond T10 4-speed that's just like new. I have a Tex Racing T101 also, but that doesn't have a speedometer drive. And this is not a race car, I got to keep telling myself. So it's just going to be a fun street car. So dual quad 377 Richmond 4-speed. I've made my decision live right here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have all that stuff. Every last nut and bolt to do all that stuff. So I can do that over the winter. But first, I have to stop an ongoing tragedy. Stand by. Next time I shoot a video, I'll actually look up how long my poor Model A's been sitting around here. But this can't go on anymore, because I actually have probably every last nut and bolt for this baby. I'm still in the mock-up stage, but I pretty much have everything. It's going to be a fun project, but I got to get all this, magnetic stuff. You put something magnetic in the middle, and it just draws all the stuff into it. It's been sitting here way too long. I drive this thing next spring. So I'm going to work on the Nova off and on, but concentration needs to be on this starting this week. We're going to shoot a video actually working on it. I got one more project. This is how my week went. Let me spin the camera around here. So you saw me last week. Deliver the Monte Carlo, drag my Nova home, drag the bandsaw home. I'm thinking I'm pretty much home free from other people's projects. Maybe I can get caught up a little bit. But a few months ago, I had overhauled a 700 R4 for a guy for his Camaro, and he had called and said that after he installed it and drove it, it lost reverse and it wasn't shifting that well. So I had a pretty good idea what it was. Offered to go to his house to fix it laying in his driveway, but he'd prefer to send it over here in case it had to be pulled back out. He didn't want to work on it anymore. Long story short, somewhere either from the radiator, cooler lines, the new torque converter that he bought, it filled the valve body and the boost valve in the pump full of debris. So I had to fix it, drive it, flush it again, and that glommed up the first couple days of this week. And then that project was gone. Still homeschooling, plus I was working on the SARN, and it was, next thing you know, a week is gone. So I didn't accomplish a whole lot this week. I accomplished some stuff, but not as much as I hoped. I hope to start another project by now. I have one more volunteer project. It's going to show up later today, tomorrow. I've got to work on it outside. It's a big van. And then I thought I was free and clear. But Friday, a friend of mine called and had a 4L80E that he needs overhauled, so that's sitting over there. I'll work that in too, but I'm going to work on my stuff. And also go back into building her shifters and stuff like that. And I'm going to have to do a lot less of other people's projects and more of mine. I can make enough cash doing transmissions, rear ends, and selling shifters online, stuff like that. I don't want to work on people's cars anymore, the whole car. It's a loser. Individual pieces, hell yeah. The whole car, you just waste a lot of time, you don't get reimbursed for it. And you have the liability of the thing sitting here. Now, you know, it's valuable to the person that owns it. I would hate to have something happen to it, and I have insurance for that, but it'd just be a big hassle and end up paying for something I didn't even want here in the first place. So it's a tough decision, but my niche is not working on the whole vehicle. I've decided I'd much rather do bench work. That's where it's at. And the lifts will be for my projects that we're going to do together. So that's that. I'm looking forward. We're going to shoot a video this week of us working on the Model A. I think early in this video I might have called it a Model T, which I hate when people do that. I might have done it myself because I've been watching videos of a guy building a Model T, so it's kind of, you know, stuck in my head. So enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for watching. Maybe something exciting will happen in the next video. We'll see. Bye-bye.